Alright, this is the needs analysis part. So it would require you to go back through your questionnaires and to find the key findings from each of the questionnaires. So athlete's name, just put your name in. This third one down here, it can be crossed through because we will not be using this one. Okay, so this one here, we won't be using this. So how does it work? Effectively, not applicable actually. Okay, so how does it work? So I put my name in here. In the athletic coping skills inventory, which is the first questionnaire you filled out, you're going to pull out some key findings. So if I go back to my first questionnaire and I look at my scores here, I would pull out some strengths and areas for improvement. Okay, the higher the score in this questionnaire, the better. The lower, obviously, it requires improvement. So in this case, coping score seems okay, but let's just, for example, say that my concentration score is a 3. My coachability is a 5. Okay, so I've got 2 areas for improvement, and the goal setting is 9. Okay, so if I came here, I'd talk about what was my strength from that questionnaire and what are my areas for improvement. You do exactly the same in the competitive state anxiety questionnaire. You say what your strengths were and what your weaknesses are. However, within that questionnaire, which is this one here, the higher the score, the worse the score, because it means you're more anxious. However, the higher the self-confidence, the better. So within the cognitive state and somatic anxiety scores, if they're higher, it's the worse. Okay, if self-confidence is higher, it's actually good. And then finally, the sport anxiety scale, which is the last questionnaire you've done. All these scores, if they're high, okay, it actually means that they're not as good as they should be. Okay, so if they're high, it means they're not as good as they are. So I again would write down my strengths and areas for improvement from that questionnaire there. In this part here, performance observation, I would just think back to my last performance and I would write down some observations. So before the game I felt quite nervous, and that affected me within the first 5 minutes of my game, making some misplaced shots that I wouldn't normally do. Towards the end of the game, because I was winning and I was quite comfortable, I lost a bit of concentration within my performance. So those types of things. In this last bit here, you need to select 3 psychological skills that are going to help you work on the areas for improvement we've highlighted throughout these questionnaires. So for instance, if I had high levels of anxiety, I might say, right, I'm going to use PMR before matches to try and relax me. I'm going to use self-talk to try and help me focus on my performance and take my mind off actually the end result, but actually focus on my skill set. So it would be instructional self-talk. And I may well use breathing control during points I feel stressful to try and help reduce my anxiety levels.